Yeah, look, life has been here for 3.5 billion years. Life is resilient. So the question shouldn't be, is the ecosystem going to recover? Did ecosystem damages happen, and who's responsible, and what should they do about it? So the ecosystem will recover, but what does recovery mean? Will it just recovery is not a single alternative to collapse. And many people can mean different things by recovery. Many people can just mean it's no longer going to collapse. Recovery can mean reaching a new equilibrium. And some people can use recovery to mean, return to the way it was before. And it's unclear when there's been a big perturbation what kind of recovery you can expect. Large-scale disturbances, there's usually some sort of recovery, but not necessarily to the way it was. There might be a new way that the ecosystem is working. So you go back to Prince William Sound in Alaska, over many decades after the Exxon Valdez, and many species have recovered. River otters have recovered. Some of the ducks, some of the salmon have recovered. But the sea otters, they took a lot longer to recover. The herring fishery is still much depressed compared to before the oil. So has the ecosystem recovered? I don't know. It's probably reached a new steady state and is no longer destabilized in the way that it was in the immediate aftermath of the spill. But is it the way that it was before? No. The herring aren't there in the numbers that they used to be, and that's important to many people. So those would say, no, the ecosystem didn't recover. But if you care about the salmon, say, you would say, oh, yeah, the ecosystem's recovered pretty well. So it's one of those things that's kind of all in the eye of the beholder. So people in Barataria Bay, this part of Louisiana that was hardest hit by the oil spill, today probably would say, no, the ecosystem is not recovered because, our industry is still in disarray and we're afraid of the health of the animals that we're pulling out of this environment. We're afraid about the safety of the seafood that we're recovering from here. Whereas, other people looking at a large scale would say, well, a lot of the oil has disappeared. We haven't seen massive Gulf-wide fisheries collapsing, so maybe we're okay. So it depends on who you talk to, unfortunately. But I would say that we don't have enough information now to know what the state of the ecosystem is and what's going to happen 10 years from now. Partly it's because sometimes it takes a while for effects to appear. So part of the lack of understanding about the state of the ecosystem is from perhaps a level of immaturity of the science. But part of it is also just that we don't have enough information. It hasn't been long enough to know what the state of the ecosystem is, whether there's going to be further deterioration, whether the ecosystem is stabilized, or whether there's going to be recovery, and in what species.